Hi, my name is Veronica Arcos. I'm a Chilean architect, um, and my work focuses on the intersection between traditional constructive systems with complex geometry. So um, we use rule-based design as a means of operate through work. You will see some of the work. Some professional projects and also part of the research I do with my students. So I hope you enjoy it and have a great time in the digital futures. I arranged this presentation organizing the projects in three categories: full surfaces, stacked blocks, and 3D printed patterns. My first work is called House for All. It was built in 2006, and it was the first materialization of a parametric building in Chile. Um, the focus of the research or the speculative side of the project uh, was in the design definition of the structure. It is an associative structure of four structural frames, steel frames, that vary the slope in a subtle degree. So when you interpolate this excess, you get double curved surfaces, ruled surfaces. In fact, these are some of the structural diagrams where you can see that the same topology is varying in a small degree. And this diagram shows the skeleton and the skin of the house as a synthesis of the project. The project was conceived with the reference of the hanging bridge. The central part of the structure is standing, and it has two cantilevers to the north and the south of the house. So it is like a very expressive form that is in balance. I will pass these photographs very briefly. There are some of the interior and exterior details of the house. Then, 11 years later, we built the Two Skins house, which is a house that is in the coast of Chile, 2 hours to the north of Santiago and directly on the coast. And it also has this ruled surface language, but this special geometry is depending on the skin, on the double skin of the house, which aims not only to have like an ornamental aspect, but also a technical one. So it is a ventilated facade that keeps the house very cool, especially in the summer season, which is the time of the year that it gets more occupied. This is a facade looking to the south. The only fenestration is the principal entrance. And this is a view from the west. And from a distance you can read the hyperbolic paraboloid that is the geometry of the roof also, so the whole envelope has a ruled surface. Then this other way of doing the projects can be ordered in stacked blocks. The first one was the space FA in Santiago in 2012. And this small piece of is interior architecture. We programmed the whole project in Grasshopper, so we designed all the pieces so it would have stable structural form as an ellipsoid, and it doesn't have any joints or glue or anything. Only these are only assembled pieces. And then this is a studio, design studio we did with the first year students in Santa Maria University in Valparaiso, and we were focusing on the 3D patterns as the stacked bricks in this case, and to have like a very expressive kind of texture that plays with the sun and the shadows, and they are in the middle of a park. Then very briefly, this design studio right after the previous one with models, scale models, wooden pieces that we were again looking for patterns, 3D patterns that would have like a special performance on the side of the rivers. I just show it very briefly so I can show you the next. And then in 2017, Red Bull Radio asked me to design a pavilion for them to broadcast local programs and music, live music. So this is the floor plan where you have to the right the guy who's controlling all the sound, and on the left side you have a small table for the people to broadcast, and also a space for a small band to play. And you can see two special walls which were also designed with an algorithmic pattern in Grasshopper in this case also. And in order to have the exact position, we cut these wooden sheets to put the blocks against them, so we would have the exact position. And we did the same pattern inside and outside the interior and exterior facade. And the interior facade performs as absorber of the sound, so you don't get an echo inside. So it worked pretty well, and also, well, it has this technical and ornamental aspect as many of these projects that you'll see. This is a small project, a visitors shelter in Paliaique National Park in Magallanes. and we built it together with the students of the Universidad Finisterra in 2018. So we were inspired by this stacked wood that is very like a very traditional system to dry wood. So we thought of this cube full of the stacked um, woods, and we subtracted a sphere inside it. So the sphere was the space, the actual interior space for the visitors. On the back of the people that are seated come the predominant winds in Magallanes. So all those layers that are between the wind and the people decompose the wind, and you get a very comfort space inside. Also, on the opposite side of the wind, you have the north, so you have sunshine the whole day. So it's like a very comfortable uh, place to rest, to take a little rest when you're walking or trekking through the park. Uh, we wanted it to be like a very tranquil, very quiet object in the landscape, and also we wanted to be kind of transparent, so it wouldn't block the views that are pretty amazing in that side of the planet. And we put this polycarbonate on top, so you could stop the rain and the snow. And well, the spherical space that you get inside is again a robust form, so it resists structurally very well. And finally, the research that I've been doing the last year and a half is these 3D printed patterns. First, I will show some 3D printing test with clay in the Universidad del Bio Bio last year. We used this robot, this robotic arm, to extrude. We put this limited quantity of clay on this tube, and we started printing. In this video, you can see that the form is not stable enough to resist its own weight. So in a second iteration, we designed this one that has points of contact between its self, the same trajectory, so it's structurally stable while the clay is still humid. This is called the green strength in 3D printing vocabulary. Those are the results of that afternoon. And this is like the most recent work I've been doing. This is from this year. We've been 3D printing remotely with the Universidad del Desarrollo. These tests we did with porcelain. So I've been looking for a 3D pattern that taps to an envelope or a surface to give plastic expression and also to have eventually a technical uh, outcome as a ventilated facade or a facade that shades itself with its porosity and texture. Uh, uh, Even though this is done with a desktop printer, a small printer, you can read the same principles of concrete or a clay, a one-to-one piece of architecture. So these models are very useful for me to get to know the limits, the geometric limits of this kind of technology. So I hope you have a great time in the Digital Futures World workshops and talks, and I say goodbye with this video.